Good evening and welcome to a special edition of Growth Talk Radio Show as we display talent across the country. Tonight I have with me Brandon Frame. Brandon will be speaking about his new book tonight, Define Yourself, Redefine the World, a guided journal for black boys and men. Brandon, welcome to Growth Talk Radio Show tonight. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. Thank you for having me. Really happy to be here.
I am so excited to have an opportunity to have young men outside of the state of Mississippi who are doing extremely great things to display their talent so that young men across the state of Mississippi can see what's going on across the country and can be encouraged that they too can achieve great things. First, I want you to tell us about your new book. Give us a little background about it and how did this book become such a phenomenon?
It really came out of the idea that as myself as a school administrator and a former English teacher, that I was having a hard time getting young black boys to write, to really open up, not just a little assignment, but to really write so that they can reflect to build critical consciousness. And so through that, I decided that, well, okay, I'm having this trouble, and I need to, what's the solution to this? And I said, wouldn't it be great if we could create a journal, a journal just for black boys, designed specifically for them during this time period of middle school, high school, and even when you get to college, where you're really just trying to build and learn more about yourself. And so that's really where it stems from, is that, okay, educators, not just myself, but other educators are definitely having a hard time getting black boys to write and open up and to learn more about themselves. So MK Sante is one of my favorite scholars, and he says that when you make an observation, you have an obligation. And so I made this observation that something was wrong, that this is an issue. So now I have an obligation to figure out how I can fix it, and that's what I did.
Awesome. That's very, very awesome. And when you say that this is a journal and this is a guide for young men and boys, would this also be an opportunity where English teachers can perhaps get this book, and will it help them in some kind of way to be able to know how to relate to young men? How would this book, if I was an educator, how would it help me? Why would I buy the book as an educator?
Because you would be able to, it already comes with different essential questions and quotes that students can reflect on. So it really allows them as an educator, like, you definitely can pose different questions because it has space for them to write, but it also is something that you can say, this will allow them to build on their critical consciousness, which is something that you want your students to do as an English teacher. And so for them to build that critical consciousness about themselves, Naeem Akbar says the first function of education is to provide identity, and it's doing just that.
Awesome. That's very, very awesome. Also, give us the information on how people can get in contact with you and actually purchase this book.
You can go to www.theblackmancan.org and click contact. That's the best way to get in touch with me. My email address also is brandon.m.frame@gmail.com. And you can also get in touch with me with that way as well. But definitely go to the site. You can definitely learn more about the book and whatnot.
And let me ask you this, Brandon. How long has the book been out? Because I want to say, did it just release on yesterday?
It released on Tuesday, so it
okay.
Came out. We are, sales are, pretty good. Like, people are buying this for it, which is good. I was really happy that on the first day, somebody bought all the way from South Africa. So, I think that's just a testament that this is a tool that is needed, and I hope that it will be in demand, because like my whole point, or the whole idea, is just to educate, motivate, and inspire black boys in particular to be different, be great, and never stop. And that's what we're trying to do with this journal.
Awesome. So, Brandon, let me ask you this. Is the book going on tour? And if so, what cities are up next so that people in those particular cities that are listening in can actually stop by and get a signed copy from you?
We're looking to have a nice release party next month after we get some reviews out from different people, different online publications and print publications as well. But we are doing, our goal is to do what we call the Black Men Can Institute, which is a one-day symposium for Black boys or boys of color. And so we are going to do our inaugural institute February 9th in Hartford, Connecticut. We have a plethora of speakers, Shike Yuzoka, Dr. Chris Tenden, Mr. Terrell Hill, Elijah Allenberg, just several men that are going to be coming in to facilitate these workshops and give reflections of excellence to young men. And then we do have a goal of getting to Baltimore, D.C., and various other cities around the country. If anybody listening that says, you know what, this sounds great, we want to bring the Black Man Can Institute to our city, we'd love to hear. We do kind of have an outline in terms of how much it costs for us to be able to bring an institute to your particular city. So we definitely want to go on tour. At the tour, not only do they do the workshops, but every young man walks away with a journal to have, and we also give away ties.
Oh, that is extremely awesome. And Brandon, let me ask you this as well. When it comes to the book, is it any part in the book where it deals with any type of mentorshipping? Because I have someone on Twitter who's just asking me, how does the book relate to mentorship? So is the book geared towards mentorshipping young men? They want to get more details from a mentorship perspective.
It definitely is. The journal, so the other piece of me creating a journal is not just about insights that I mentor myself, and so it's the perfect tool that if you are working with a young man, whether you're a mom, you are a black male who's mentoring another young man, if you're a father looking to build a relationship with your son, it's a great tool to be able to use and say, let's do this journal together. Or I'm giving you this journal, and let's do some check back dates. Let's do this month, we're going to do the education section. So, I want to check back with you and see what you're thinking about some of the quotes in that section. What are you thinking about the essential question that's asked? So now you can create that dialogue where you'll be able to provide those words of wisdom because they'll be able to tell you what they're thinking on a particular topic, and then you'll be able to infuse your knowledge and your frame of reference to help build their critical consciousness.
Awesome. And Brandon, without giving any, juicy goods from the book, I want to get you to elaborate, if you can give us one pointer that helps when it comes to black males. Being an African-American male here in Mississippi, I do a lot of mentorship and I help, mentor students throughout the state. What have you noticed that have worked for programs that you have implemented there in Connecticut area that work to keep the attention of black males and to keep them off of the street and to get them in colleges and universities and trades to be productive citizens? What has been the key element that you've used in that process?
The number one element that has been essential in this is meeting with the parents. And I say that because if it's just like at school or if you're mentoring and you got that young man, from a mentoring perspective, you have him for 2 hours, but then he goes back home and mom, dad, family doesn't know what you're doing with them for them to assist you in your work. So I've been most successful with all boys from all different socioeconomic status and all walks of life by sitting down with mom or dad or both or auntie or grandma and saying, listen, this is this. My goal is to help your son get to the next level in life. And so how I'm going to do that is I'm going to do this. But what I need from you is you to assist me in these efforts. I'm going to be a partner with you in taking this young man to the next level. That has been the number one thing that's allowed me to be successful is to have that sit down with the guardian, whoever that may be, and say, I need you to assist me in the work that I'm trying to do to get your son, grandson, nephew to the next level.
That is really, really awesome, Brandon. Really, really awesome. And Brandon, also, while we have you on the air, once again, I have some more viewers who've just got on to our Ustream account here. Can you give your information out again so that people can know what's going on, where can they get your book from, and kind of sum up your book in a nutshell?
You can go to www.theblackmancan.org. The journal will be on your right-hand side. You can click that. It'll give you a little outline, show you a few testimonials and where to click to purchase. You can also contact me through the contact page on the Black Man Can or or Brandon BRANDON.m.frame FRAME @gmail.com.
Awesome, awesome. So Brandon, also I have one more tweet that I got to get to here, and the young man wants to also know that is it any kind of sponsorship or grants that can get him to the symposium that you were talking about?
Oh man, no, right now, I mean, everything is so grassroots. A small team that I put together, we're just getting sponsorships from local people. So I mean, I don't know. I think that would be really hard for me to do right now. This is the first institute that we're doing, so we're really just trying to build that sustainability, be able to do stuff like that, or bring it to wherever that young man is at, because we want to expose these young men to all these different workshops, all these different life skills. Like I said, this institute for covering entrepreneurship, style and fashion, hip hop and science, financial literacy, and a host of other topics as well. So I really want to try to get it out there and expose these young men to these different areas.
Well, Brandon, I'm going to challenge the state of Mississippi tonight that if you've heard Brandon and you are on board to help get this symposium to the state of Mississippi, get online, contact him immediately so that we can get the ball running to get this here in the state of Mississippi. He's willing to come to the state and make a difference, but as we all know, it costs us to do anything that we do. So if you're interested, contact him on his website, shoot him an email, and he's more than willing to come to the state of Mississippi. And Brandon, I will also vow that on my part, on behalf of Growth Talk Radio Show and Duvalier Malone Enterprises, we will do our part to get the proposal to see how much it costs so that we can get funds raised to get the symposium here in the state of Mississippi. Because I do believe that such programs as what you're doing, or those kind of programs that are going to help us to keep the prison rate down across the nation, that's going to help more African Americans to attend colleges and universities here in the United States of America and across the world. And I want to commend you again tonight for a awesome job. I want you to keep up the good work, and we in the state of Mississippi are behind you 100%. And I look forward to speaking to you in the near future on a face-to-face interview when time permits. If you have anything else for our viewing audience tonight, the floor is open, Brandon.
One thing that I say is I always challenge everybody to be different, be great, never stop. Get out there and just be the change that you want to see. That's kind of what the journal is for me. And then if you see a young man going down the wrong direction, take a time to just say something. I'm not saying that you got to mentor him. Just say something that hopefully whatever you say, it will make the light bulb come on and you can move in the right direction. We need this is gonna be a community effort if we're really going to do what we can or do what we need to do to raise academic achievement of Black boys in America. We're definitely not looking great, but like I said, it's a multifaceted issue. But many stakeholders, the community, the church, the home, the school, all have to work in tandem to make a difference and make change.
Awesome. Brandon, again, Growth Talk Radio Show, thank you again for coming on tonight and talking to us. And we look forward to seeing great things come from your organization now. I believe that you're doing your grassroots now, but I believe that you're going to get some awesome corporate sponsors, and I believe that we're going to hear more from you across the nation as you progress. Congratulations on your new book, and I wish you well.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Thank you again for having me on the show. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you. Have a good night. Again, thank you guys for tuning in to Growth Talk Radio Show. I'm your host, Duvalier Malone. As we approach Black History Month in the month of February, we will be moving to the studio and recording live. We look forward to seeing each and every one of you there. Our first show will be aired on February the 23rd. Thank you guys so much for your support again. Have a good night.